And congratulations, Young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a closer look at the celebrities who spoke up, sometimes quietly, sometimes boldly, about Sean Diddy Combs long before lawsuits and federal investigations made headlines. From Tupac to Katt Williams, each of these public figures shared pieces of a puzzle that only now, in hindsight, seem to make sense. This isn't about gossip, it's about patterns and the people who saw them early. Let's start with the one who didn't survive to see how it all played out. Number 1, Tupac Shakur. In a 1995 interview with Vibe magazine, Tupac detailed the 1994 Quad Studio shooting, an ambush that left him shot 5 times. He survived, but he didn't hold back on who he believes set him up. His suspicions pointed at people within his inner circle, including Sean Puffy Combs.
So, do you think Puffy was involved in the shooting?
Only they can answer that question.
Right.
I have my own opinion, but I wouldn't slander their name like they did mine.
Right.
I wouldn't say things that I knew, you know what I mean? I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him.
Pac felt betrayed. He believed the industry was protecting certain people while letting others take the fall. His message was never subtle, and he continued to speak on what he saw as manipulation and control behind the scenes. A year later, he was gone. Number 2, Wendy Williams. In the 1990s, Wendy Williams was the loudest voice on New York's urban radio scene and one of the few unafraid to talk about hip-hop's powerful figures. She made bold allegations on air about homo thugs in the industry and implied Diddy had secrets he didn't want revealed.
You know, what's worse, hip-hop wearing skirts or hip-hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sexuality. So I hear what Jamar is saying, but we come from a very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such.
According to Williams, those comments got her fired. There were even rumors that Diddy sent the girl group Total to confront her at the station.
I got off the air one day and them Total bitches were downstairs waiting, and everybody upstairs at the radio station is looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. I wasn't yet married. My knight in shining armor screeched up in his car just out of nowhere. I didn't even know what was about to happen. I'm standing in the door like, what? And I'm literally about to go through. Now, I'm not like, what, let's fight, because I'm not one of those type of broads. And plus, there was 3 of them. The little Chinese man that drove the van that they were coming at. There was no security or anything. It was just them 3 fighting broads. And me. And my coworkers that shot standing upstairs trying to look down to see it all jump off. They all knew. When I said goodnight to everybody, everybody's pressed up against the window. I didn't even walk or bother asking, what are you all looking for? Because, when the clock strikes, it's time to go. It is time to go. I didn't get a chance to hit the sidewalk before I knew it, out of nowhere. And there's a whole bunch of rah-rah going on outside, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And I send Cower and Skell out on the sidewalk, and he comes back in and says, it's Total outside. And they were about to set it on you.
In a later interview with Sway in the Morning, Wendy reflected on that period. Her career survived, but her feud with Diddy followed her for decades. Number 3, Usher Raymond. In a Howard Stern show interview, Usher dropped a bombshell about his time living with Diddy when he was just 14. He doesn't go into full detail, but the silence says more than words ever could. When Stern asked if he'd let his kid go through the same experience, Usher didn't hesitate to say, hell no.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like? Hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Number 4, Aubrey O'Day. Aubrey O'Day had a front row seat to the bad boy machine. She rose to fame through making the band, but in later interviews, especially with Vanity Fair and No Jumper, she spoke openly about being controlled, manipulated, and blacklisted. She claimed Diddy silenced artists with NDAs, weaponized contracts, and created environments that blurred personal and professional boundaries. Years before the lawsuits dropped, Aubrey was already saying what others were afraid to.
You know, you meet the person that can make your dreams come true. It's very much, it's grooming. It's very much like what the military does. They break you down to make you what they need you to be. An abuser will never abuse you on day one. They push you a little bit. They talk to you a little rougher. Mm-hmm. Then they grab your arm a couple times. They get a little more forceful. They nudge you. They poke at you. And then they get into your head that you're problematic. Mm-hmm. You're a problem. And you need somebody that's real, that will tell you like it is and get you in line. And when you find that person, that's when you'll know you're really cared about and really loved. But when they violate you in a assault way, it's people like, I was told that you kind of took pause on Cassie's story because it's 11 years that she dealt with something that sounds so traumatic, I guess kind of were the words I was kind of told that your perspective was. Is that accurate?
I think at least in the beginning, I was pretty skeptical of just what we could really, you know, be sure of in regards to all this. I think like having heard so many people's stories, especially, you know, what really made me feel confident in a lot of this stuff is listening to Gene Deal, his bodyguard.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he had a really astonishing quote.
You should hear the one he's not saying. It's even crazier.
Right. So he's got stuff in the tuck that he hasn't put out there?
Everybody does.
Really?
Yeah.
He had a line.
Allegedly.
And we're going super out of order here, but he had a line when he was talking about Danity Kane where he said that, this is the line, it was when a couple of the girls in Danity Kane, I guess, like refused to sign some type of agreement.
We were giving a publishing deal prior to Cassie coming forward, about 6 months, maybe even prior to that.
And Gene said that Diddy's said to him in privacy, and like there was only one other person in the room, I'm gonna drug they ass out and pimp them out to my N-words.
Yep.
And Gene apparently was horrified and told, and he's quoting himself, but he said that he said that's somebody's child.
There are so many stories, and you're only seeing what you are seeing online, right? That's according to some TikTokers or whoever. There's a whole world happening behind all of that that is so beyond your imagination. We could sit here for hours, and that's not even information that I personally would share because they're not all my stories.
You're talking about private group chats, emails, etc., of people who know about stuff that happened in this bad boy universe that are like privately working on what might be to come out publicly in the future? There
are so many witnesses. There are so many victims. Now, if or if not there were to be any type of investigation occurring, no victim should be or can communicate with other victims. And so victims are likely not communicating with victims.
Number 5, Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright is known for speaking loudly on the dark side of the music industry. In a real-life productions interview, she didn't hold back. She tied Diddy's influence to industry-wide patterns of silence, exploitation, and fear. At the time, many dismissed her, but today her words ring differently.
He's a sex worker. He's got guns, and he's got semen-coated fucking VHS tapes. I would have went in a hazmat suit.
Number 6, Katt Williams. In his viral Club Shay Shay interview, Katt Williams named names. Without even needing to say much, the audience knew who and what he meant. He talked about secret parties, pressure to conform, and people selling their souls for a shot at fame. Katt said no and paid the price in silence and sabotage.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need another one. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Number 7, 50 Cent. For 20 years, 50 Cent has called out Diddy. From interviews to social media, it was never subtle. In a Shady 45 interview, he said, "There's an uncomfortable energy around those parties. I don't go."
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January 9th.
That's why I was like, he says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like, he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're going to make me mess up the wedding.
Number 8, Rodney, Lil Rod. Before the headlines exploded, before the raids, Rodney Lil Rod was already in court. In early 2024, Jones filed a lawsuit describing forced encounters, drug use, and predatory behavior. He alleged that Diddy used power, intimidation, and fear to control those around him, and claimed to have videos and text messages as evidence. At the time, many people brushed it off as a money grab, but then the federal investigation began.
Multiple lawsuits have been filed against Combs, including one by music producer Rodney Jones. Jones alleges sex trafficking and sexual assault, also mentioning underage girls in the 79-page lawsuit. Claims made by Jones include hidden cameras in the rap mogul's home, saying, quote, Mr. Combs allegedly threatened to eat Mr. Jones's face in order to get what he wants.
So now we ask, were these voices ignored because we didn't believe them or because we didn't want to? Some people told the truth early, some hinted at it with jokes or vague warnings, but the message was always there. Let us know in the comments who else saw it coming. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.